Good morning, everyone. Please shall we be upstanding for the national anthem of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. I think we'll just take the first stanza. After the count of two, 1, 2. Nigeria, we hail thee, our own dear native land. Though tribes and tongues may differ, in brotherhood we stand. Nigerians all are proud to serve a sovereign motherland. Thank you very much. Please be seated. Your Excellencies, the ambassador, German ambassador to Nigeria, Ambassador Annette Gunther, our distinguished guests, would like to welcome everyone. Just in your own nice way of saying it's a beautiful morning, because it's the making of the Almighty God, your creator, that you're here this morning in this room. Just turn to the next person to your right or to your left. Just tell them, good morning, in your own dialect. Yes, I can hear Mesere. What is coming from this side of the room? Guten Morgen. Good, that's German. Great. So for every one of us, saying that lovely word shows that we believe in oneness of what language can do for us. And that's why in this room this morning, we're also looking forward to discussing a very important matter, engagement on the special seat bill, as well as issue of rape, issue of women representation, or underrepresentation as the case may be. It's something that cuts across all communities across the globe. So that was why I asked everyone to actually speak that particular phrase this morning. So we're on one accord. We're going to be doing just everything that we need to do to put the women matter at the front burner this morning. For the gentlemen here, I believe you're he for she. And for the she, we're also going to be supporting the gentlemen to do more for us. Isn't that the case? So good morning once again. I'd like to quickly look through the introductions as have been given, and I would like to welcome once again the ambassador, the German ambassador to Nigeria. So, Guten Morgen, as I've learned. Guten Morgen. That's Ambassador Annette Gunther. Welcome to the conversation this morning. Dr. Ibrahim Banaru Abubakar is a board member, Stand to End Rape Initiative. Please, as I keep calling, please keep giving your applause. Also in the room, would like to welcome Honorable Jeremiah Umaru, is the Deputy Chair, House Committee on Public Account of the Federal House of Representatives. Some other persons will be joining us in the course of the conversation. I would also like to welcome a member of a civil society organization represented by Kimpact Development Initiative in the person of Ms. Bukola Ido. Traditional religious leader representatives are also here, but for now, I think I have just the names of the religious leader representatives. I'd like to welcome Reverend Dr. Harvest Igewo. He's the National Chairman, Minister of God, Civic Center, and the General Overseer, Caris International Church. Also on that group is Reverend Elisha Kirims. He's of the Equa Good News One Church here in Abuja. Okay, I also have Barrister Ogechi Duraku from the Nigerian Bar Association. I also have every one of you that have not received your names, but you're equally special to this occasion. Please give yourself a round of applause. My name is Blessing Abu. I work with the Nigerian Television Authority. This morning, and indeed for the few hours we'll be here, we'll be talking about what is great in the life of every creation, the woman, the lady, female. But then, because we say if we educate the woman, you are indirectly pronouncing, promoting, and giving the voice to the nation, and indeed community at large. So, as we seek to look into some of these pieces of information that is available to us, this program, of course, is put together by the Stand to End Rape Initiative with the support from the Federal Republic of Germany, giving them the full backing that indeed this is one social action that must be taken with all hands on deck. And we know as much as we've been talking about this over the centuries, it is still very much important to look into this aspect today. I would also like to appreciate in the room colleagues in the media. This event is being streamed live on the various media platform that is being displayed here. Arise channels, News, that's Development Nigerian TV, and a host of others. Thank you very much, because we're partners in progress to actually see that society gets better despite all the chaos that this issue is causing. Okay, without further ado, I would like to welcome for the opening remarks in this order that have been given. First, let's have Dr. Ibrahim Banaru Abubakar, board member, Stand to End Rape Initiative, to actually tell us why we are gathered here beyond what I've said.
Thank you very much, DMC. You've wonderfully established the protocol. So, Your Excellencies, please permit me to stand on the existing protocol. Distinguished guests, esteemed colleagues and fellow advocates, a very good morning to you. I'm Dr. Ibrahim Banaru. I sit on the board of Stand to End Rape Initiative, where 80% of the board members are women. And I can see in this room today, the representation of women is the simple majority. So we can give ourselves a round of applause that we are already making the impact. I stand before you today not merely as an advocate against inequality, but as a Nigerian who believes that the promise of our democracy must be a shared participation, not just a guarded privilege for the few. Today we convene not just to discuss policy, but to confront a persistent imbalance that undermines the very fabric of our representative democracy in Nigeria, the stark underrepresentation of women in Nigeria's political landscape. In a country where more than half of the population, or nearly half of the population, are women, they occupy only 3.6% of the Senate seats and 4.7% in the House of Representatives. And I can tell you in 15 Nigerian states, there is no single woman in the state assembly. This is not acceptable. It is not only a gap, but a gaping wound in the heart of our democracy in Nigeria. And make no mistake, when women are absent from chambers of power, it is not only women who suffer. The nation suffers. Policies also suffer. And families suffer, and then progress stalls. That's if we stop women from getting to the chambers of power. As a policy analyst and a physician, I have seen what exclusion looks like. I've watched women, brilliant, capable, visionary, wait outside hospital boardrooms, party primaries, and policy-making tables because we've locked the door as men. I've seen what the cost of silence is, and that's why we are speaking up. And I have learned this. When you exclude half of the population from decisions, you limit the whole population from a promising future. And that's what we are trying to change from today. The proposed special seats for women in the National and State House of Assemblies bill, the HB 1349, seeks to address these imbalances by reserving additional seats for women in both national and state assemblies. The special seats for women bill is not about political favors. It is about political fairness. It proposes a constitutional amendment to temporarily create additional seats for women in our national and state assemblies, reviewable in 16 years. Some say it's radical, but I can tell you it is necessary. I say it is necessary. Rwanda did it. Senegal did it. Their democracies did not weaken. They rather deepened. Their economies did not stall. They rather surged. Their children did not suffer. They rather soared. Through the Amplifying Women's Political Participation in Nigeria for 2027 election project, the Stand to End Rape initiative stand at the forefront of this transformative movement. Our commitment to amplifying women's voices in politics is unwavering. Through stakeholders' engagement, such as this that we are having today, we seek commitment through engagement and public awareness to dismantle these systemic barriers and foster an environment where women leadership is not the exception but the norm. In line with this vision, today we bring together stakeholders, lawmakers, traditional and religious leaders, civil society organizations and development partners, and also the media to deepen national conversation on inclusive governance and push for urgent legislative action. Because we believe when you shift culture, you shift power. And when you shift power, you shift the future. To the lawmakers in the room, you carry the weight of history. To the traditional and religious leaders, your voice can actually open doors that have remained historically locked. To the civil society organizations, the development partners, and the media, the path to equity is clearer, well lit by the truth, and this is why we are here to engage together. That bill is not a token, it is a tool, not a favor, but a foundation for fairness. Let us not be remembered as the generation that protected the status quo. Let us be remembered as the generation that cracked open the gate of governance and said to the women, come in because you belong here. Let us build a Nigeria where every daughter knows her voice matters, where representation is not a miracle, it is a matter of course, where women are not just voters, but they are visionaries, legislators, and leaders. The special seat bill is not the end of the journey. It is the beginning of a better one. Before I take my seat, I would like to express our sincere gratitude to the Federal Republic of Germany through the embassy and the European delegation to Nigeria and ECOWAS for their steadfast support, not only for this project, but for the principles of dignity, equity, and democracy. We are very grateful. The last time I visited Germany, I went to Mittel Bauer, and I could say that the work we do at STER and then the promotion of equity and fairness and justice that the Germany is known for is what we seek to corroborate and more, and thank you very much for that. And to the distinguished members of the National Assembly and State Assemblies, as well as other stakeholders who continue to champion inclusive governance and gender equity, we say thank you very much. Let this moment be the one that we choose courage over comfort, equity over ease, justice over tradition. The time is now, and the responsibility is ours. The future is watching, and let us be part of that good future that posterity will judge us correctly. Thank you very much, and do wish us a fruitful deliberation and enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
The applause on till he gets to his seat. I believe that was a beautiful speech to open up this conversation this morning. Yes, earlier on I mentioned that as I get the names of those who are in the room, I'll keep giving the right recognition. Joining Honorable Jeremiah Omaro at this gathering this morning, I'd like to acknowledge, welcome Honorable Jafaru Gambo, Honorable Clement Jimbo, Honorable Ahmed Saba. Thank you very much. You are representatives, and we believe that this message is going to be going around your colleagues as well as your constituency for us to do justice to the topic at hand. Yes, while Dr. Banaro was giving this speech earlier, at least I identified some keywords for us to amplify women voices in politics, for us to actually see to that awareness being deepened. Right here in the room, we have influences, areas of influences, whether from the National Assembly to the State Assembly to the support partners, civil society, the media, every one of us involved. One key area, spot for us as individuals is that we could have heard, we could have seen, experienced one aspect of one of the voices, which is about rape, and which is what the body itself is trying to actually stem. This is one issue that most people will shy away from. Some refuse to discuss it, not because they don't want to. Issue of stigmatization, issue of, okay, it's going to be me versus the society. So many things. And for us, it's time we hold that conversation, even sound it out, for us not to be intimidated, for us to be manipulated, and not to be drowned in our means to actually do wonders to what we have decided to do today. Okay, for us, the session, this first aspect is the introduction, and also to get us warm up enough. The second aspect of the program will be on the technical section. I'm sure you've seen the seat already ready. But before we go into that, let's have Excellency Ambassador Annette Gunther to come over to give opening remarks. She's the German ambassador to Nigeria. Your Excellency, Ma.
Do I have to hold it, or does it work like this? Okay. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Or as you suggested, we all say it in our dialect, and I would say, no, moin, moin. Guten Morgen is High German. That's what everybody says. But where I live, we just say moin. And it doesn't really mean Guten Morgen. It means just basically hello. And if you say moin moin, then it's a very nice hello, very friendly. Moin moin. So when you are in northern Germany and you say moin moin, everybody will understand this is a very friendly greeting. It doesn't have a translation. Okay. Good morning, everybody. Honorable members of parliament and state houses, representatives of various religious groups, members of civil society, members of the press, ladies and gentlemen. It is, of course, a pleasure and an honor for me to be here at this high-level event that brings together political leadership, civil society, and international partners for a shared goal: the advancement of gender-inclusive governance and the political empowerment of women in Nigeria. As the former UN Secretary General Ban Ki-moon once said, strengthening women is not the right thing to do, it is the smart thing to do. Just like him, Germany firmly believes that gender equality is not only a question of rights, but it is a vital requirement for sustainable development, social justice, and a resilient democracy. We know from experience, both from our own journey and from international best practices, that societies function better when they harness the talents and perspectives of all their citizens, men and women alike. Today we gathered to discuss an issue that goes to the heart of democratic representation, the Special Seats Bill. We are all aware how low the number of women in the National Assembly is. It was mentioned before by Mr. Abubakar. And it's one of the lowest in Africa. And this is not just a statistic. It represents millions of unheard voices, perspective missing in policy making, in political discussions. And it's a systematic barrier that the needs that need to be addressed with urgency and courage. In Germany's recently new elected parliament, there are only 32% women represented. And this is, unfortunately, even lower than in the previous parliament. So I must say Germany is not exactly a shining example, even though the numbers are a bit higher. And therefore we are not in a position to be giving lectures here. But instead, I think by supporting this kind of projects and events like this, we are working together with you because we confront the same challenges, maybe to a different level, but we have the same challenges in our societies. And I think through this exchange and through this support, we can both progress on our ways in our policies of supporting women in society. Temporary special measures, it was meant before, such as the Special Seats Bill, are internationally recognized tools to address long-standing gender imbalances. And it was also said before, they are not about privilege, but about equalizing opportunities, about creating the space for women to contribute meaningfully to political leadership. Countries that have embraced such measures, and I was ambassador to Kenya before, and I could see it there. Kenya was not mentioned, but it's also one of those countries. Those countries have seen measurable improvements in governance quality, particularly on issues of education, health, social protection. In the end, the bill will be a decision to be taken by the Nigerian National Assembly. And it's therefore a sovereign Nigerian decision that external partners like Germany, rightfully so, we have no say in. Personally though, I believe it will be beneficial to Nigeria's development. And if I could vote, I would vote in favor of it. Germany is proud to support this important project in partnership with STER. Over the past months, STER and its partners have engaged with lawmakers, traditional and religious leaders, civil society, young women in the country. They have made the case for the bill, factually and forcefully, for inclusive representation of women. This effort reflects the very essence of Germany's feminist foreign policy, listening to those who are often unheard, promoting equity, and supporting courageous initiatives that challenge the status quo. Let me take this opportunity to thank all those who have contributed to this important work. The tireless advocates, the supportive legislators, and above all, the young women who continue to push for a seat at the table, not just for themselves, but for future generations and for their daughters. Let us carry this momentum forward. Let us continue to work together until gender is no longer a barrier to political participation and leadership. Let us work together until leadership in Nigeria and elsewhere truly reflects the diversity, the strengths, and the potential of all people. Germany remains committed to partner with you on this journey for a more inclusive, more equitable, for a democratic future. Thank you very much.
Keep the applause on till Her Excellency gets to our seats. The course of exclusion, the barriers, the silence, the sidelining, all what she has drawn our attention to is equalizing the opportunities, and she would like to see the leadership in Nigeria reflect all these forms of diversities. That's what we'll be talking about in the room today. Please, another round of applause for her. Well, we'll say we have leaders. We also look forward to hearing from our representatives, wherever we find them, whether back in their constituencies, right in their offices, in rooms such as we are gathered here right now. We'd like to ask the questions. We'd like to find out their thoughts. We'd like to prod their minds. We also like to see what they think in line with what every one of us are discussing. So, let's bring to the podium Honorable Jeremiah Umaru, who is the Deputy Chair, House Committee on Public Accounts of the Federal House of Representatives, to give his opening remarks.
Your Excellency, the German Ambassador to Nigeria, my distinguished honorable colleagues, starting with Honorable Saba from Kwara, Honorable Jimbo from Akwa Ibom, Honorable Leko, who just stepped out from Bauchi, and every other distinguished guest, ladies and gentlemen of the press, good morning. I feel very happy. I'm highly delighted and honored to be here to say a word or two in respect of this engagement. This engagement is coming at the right time. In fact, it's even late as far as we're concerned. I want the House to know that the 10th House of Representatives, National Assembly, you know I'm in the House of Reps, so I'm going to be speaking in respect to the House of Representatives. Gender inclusiveness is one of the key areas of this 10th Assembly. And for the honorable members to be here, you should know that already we take it very, very serious, and we take it dear to our heart. We have engaged in different parliaments within Africa and across Africa. And we discovered that women have special seats in the parliament. Looking at Uganda, the speaker of the parliament of Uganda is a woman, and they have special seats for women. Talking about Kenya, and so on and so forth. Nigeria should also take and follow suit. So for us, we're here to let you know that we will support and will continue to be part of this engagement to ensure that the women are adequately represented in the political space. You must understand one thing about the politics. It has to do with lobby, engagement, and so on. We're talking about special seat bills. How many of the honorable members are aware of this bill? How many of the senators are aware of this bill? Where is this bill? This, I want to encourage the organizers and those who are pushing for this bill to ensure that members of the parliament are properly enlightened, adequately carried along, to ensure that this bill gets the rightful support for us that are here, and for our friends out there who are also members of the parliament. We are going to support this, and we'll also talk to our colleagues. We'll lobby our colleagues to see that we all partner and support this. So for women, inclusiveness in politics, governance is key, because if you look at the women that have gotten positions of leadership in Nigeria over time, you agree with me that they did so well. Most of them, 90% did so well. And as long as we are advocating for the creation of more seats for women, special seats for women, I think the time is now. The time is now because the country needs women, because the woman, imagine the woman in the seat of governance leadership. Imagine the kind of impact, imagine the kind of ideas they have. Imagine the kind of knowledge. And you know one thing about the woman? When the woman tell you is yes, it's yes. And if she say no, it's no. But for the man, not us actually. Sometimes, if you tell you yes, just watch, just take time and look at it again. But for us that are here, we are honorable members of integrity. So when we tell you yes, just take it as yes. So on this note, I want to sincerely thank you for the opportunity to contribute and to say a word or two on the high-level stakeholders engagement on the special bill and other issues that will be discussed here. I encourage everyone, the stakeholders, to put in your voice and contribute to ensure that this becomes a reality. On this note, I want to, on behalf of my honorable colleagues and, of course, the members of the parliament, I want to declare this event because in the agenda, our honorable speaker is supposed to be the one to declare it open, but since he's not here and we don't have the mandate from him to stand on his behalf, we are declaring this open. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Honorable Jeremiah O'Mara, Deputy Chair, House Committee on Public Accounts of the Federal House of Representatives. And thank you so much, too, for declaring open this special engagement on a special seat bill, as the program is indicated. So I believe the honorable member agreed with Madam Ambassador's earlier quotes from UN Secretary General, that's Ban Ki-moon, saying the strengthening the woman isn't the right thing, but the smart thing. So that's the smartest move this morning. And I believe also that is long overdue for us to have this inclusion fully for the betterment of the nation. Thank you once again. Please another round of applause for him. His thoughts were so many, but at the same time, it's in agreement with what we all believe. We're working towards the same goal. Okay, we quickly take on the goodwill messages, and we'll move on with the program as lined up. So first, I'd like to welcome from a member of the civil society organization, Ms. Bukola Idowu, from Kimpact Development Initiative, for their goodwill message.
Good morning, everyone. Permit me to stand on the already established protocol. I am not Bukola Idowu. I am Mercy Abiem. Bukola Idowu is a man, is a Mr. Yeah, it's my executive director. He was here in the room earlier, but he had to step out for an engagement. But he will join us while we are at it. Thank you so much to Stand to End Rape Initiative for organizing this wonderful convening for the special seats bill. There is no better time than now to have these conversations. At Kimpact Development Initiative, we are also working together with other civil society organizations to conduct targeted advocacies to push for the passage of the special seats bill. In the coming months, we would be having some public hearings at the zonal levels to also advocate to the stakeholders and the legislators for the passage of the special seats bill. Thank you so much for holding this very important event, and I would like to wish us all a fruitful deliberation. Thank you.
Okay, next we'd like to welcome to the microphone to give their goodwill message a representative from the Nigerian Bar Association, Barrister Ogechi Duraku. While she's coming to the podium, we had two persons walking. I would quickly like to recognize Alhaji Yusuf Dantali, Chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC. Welcome, sir. And also Dr. Emily Ikide, Head of Gender Units, National Institute for Legislative and Democratic Studies. Welcome. Okay. Barrister Ogechi Duraku.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Ogechi Duraku from Nigerian Bar Association, Garichi branch. I stand on the existing protocol. My message to the organizers of this event today is that you may hold a fruitful deliberation and conversation that will move the stakeholders to ensure that you may move. I'm sorry. My message to the organizers of this event is that you may hold fruitful deliberations and conversations that will move the stakeholders to run gender inclusiveness in our political space. Thank you.
Another round of applause for her. Please speak in front of the crowd. I can tell you it's not easy. So try singing in your church. Giving the message at the mosque, that you know that it's very easy. Anyway, I think for everyone, you know your area of influence. As they'll say, waiting lawyers, they do stuff. Okay, I'd like to also appreciate and welcome in the room another learned fellow. You know, they say they are the learned ones. So every one of you are learning something. From the International Federation of Women Lawyers, known as FIDA, that's the Abuja branch, we'd like to welcome the representative, Nimi Ayua. Okay. So we'll continue the goodwill messages, and this time around we're looking to the pious nature of man. Your faiths believe that there is something with your Creator for watching out for each other. So for our religious leader represented here this morning, we'd like to welcome Reverend Dr. Harvest Igewo. Is the National Chairman, Ministers of God Civic Center, and General Overseer, Caris International Church.
Good morning, everyone. May I please request to stand on the resisting protocol? Of course, we all know that everyone here seated is created by God. Is there anyone in the room that doesn't believe that it's created by God? Everyone do believe that we are created by God. So if we want to get the best, we go back to the holy books. And for me, the Bible is very unique when it comes to this question. The organizers of this program, kudos. I would like to take you to Genesis chapter 2, verse 18. And the Bible states, and the Lord said, it is not good that a man should be alone. I will make him an helpmate for him. I will make him an helpmate for him. So God created a man, and he by himself concluded that it is not good for the man to be alone. And so he decided to create a helpmate. And the word helpmate from the Greek text is called Asa. And the word Asa means provider of succor. Provider of succor. And when there is no succor, there is abandonment or neglect. That's the opposite of succor. So in every endeavor of life, where the woman is not existing, there is bound to be neglect. So in our governance, in our democracy, if the woman is not there, there is going to be what? Neglect. There's going to be abandonment. Projects are abandoned, the rules are not followed because you don't have women. Even in our families, once a woman happened to travel just for a few days, were we children before in the house? If you were a child before, you know what I'm talking about. Once the mother is not there, just for probably 3 days, the whole house will be upside down. Am I correct? Same thing it is. Even in our democratic, atmosphere, everywhere, in every discipline, once you don't have the woman, the whole place will be in shambles. There will be neglect of the rules. Everything will be upside down. But when there is woman, you will know that when it's time for your meal, someone is going to take care of the meal. When it's the time to go to bed, someone will be at your back to make sure you go to bed. That's the role of the woman. My mother played that role for me, and I know your mother did for you. And so, if you check the countries of the world, the countries that have more women in their governance, they tend to do better. And I think if Nigeria emulates such countries, the Nigerian democratic space will be better. There will be succor. And so, as a priest, I'm urging everyone here participating in this program to please don't do the rhetorics. Stand firmly to support the organizers of this program. Don't just come to this program and go back home and sleep. Every corner, every nook and cranny you find yourself, talk about it. Encourage the organizers. Tell the people the women need to be included in the Nigerian democratic leadership. I say bravo to the organizers of this program. And I encourage you, don't just do this program and go to bed. Do more of it. And at the end of it all, this little fire that you've set today is going to become a wildfire that will erupt every corner of Nigeria. God bless you all.
We'll say amen to Reverend Dr. Harvest. Here was a prayer. And to support the faith as well, we would like to recognize these clerics, the Muslim clerics we have in our midst, and I believe they also give their heart and mind as well as the applause to all what we've been talking about since the occasion began. Muhammad Kamis Nuhu, I'd like to welcome you. Jibril Abdullahi, Yahaya Zakaria all seated in the room would like to welcome you to this program, also to acknowledge your presence right here. Okay, that will be it for the goodwill messages. We earlier introduced Alhaji Yusuf Dantale, who is the chairman, Inter-Party Advisory Council, IPAC, and I'm sure he's ready with his keynote address to this occasion. Alhaji Yusuf Dantale, thank you very much. Okay, as it's coming, I also quickly like to recognize Reverend Maman J. Waguna, who is of the local overseas program, local committee. Thank you.
I will start by apologizing. I thought the program's holding at the news headquarters on Airport Road, so I went there, and coming back here, there was a roadblock. Some people were protesting. I apologize. A protocol has been observed, so I want to be permitted to stand on that. Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. And let me congratulate and challenge the women here that something is happening. There's something hovering in the air about women inclusion, because this is becoming the only talk now among all democratic institutions across board. The whole of last week and early this week, the programs we have is about women, is about women, is about women. And I challenge you to grab this opportunity and begin to move and place yourself or reclaim your rightful position in the scheme of affairs. I am delighted to participate in this crucial stakeholders engagement to advance and amplify women's representation in political leadership in Nigeria, organized by the Stand to End Rape initiative. I commend the leadership of STER for this invitation to pursue, in pursuit of more women participation in politics. The group has embarked on advocacy to secure the adoption of a legislative quota that guarantees a minimum representation of women in the National Assembly by the year 2027 general elections. It is obvious that the underrepresentation of women in politics continues to undermine the nation's progress towards equitable governance and inclusive development. The commitment of STER in promoting gender equality and increasing women's involvement in leadership and governance align with the Inter-Party Advisory Council's unwavering support for women participation in politics. As the umbrella body of all registered political parties in Nigeria, IPAC is strongly determined to consolidate and deepen the nation's democracy, to ensure political stability, successful elections, inclusive governance, and well-being of its citizens. There cannot be sustainable democracy and development when a segment of the people are marginalized and excluded from politics and governance. Political participation is for all citizens. It is the only way democracy flourishes as the government of the people, by the people, for the people. I think the entire idea of democracy is total inclusion of citizens, irrespective of religion, gender, or race. So where a segment of that population is deliberately or otherwise excluded from the participation in who takes care of administration, democracy is greatly injured. So IPAC, there cannot be sustainable democracy and development when a segment of the population is marginalized and excluded from politics and governance. Political participation for all citizens is the only way democracy flourishes as government of the people, for the people. Sorry for the repetition. IPAC will continue to intensify the campaign for inclusive politics involving women, youth, and persons living with disabilities. Council led by example and established 3 directorates of women affairs, the youth, and people living with disabilities. Last week, the Directorate of Women Affairs of IPAC, in collaboration with the National Institute for Policy and Strategic Studies, NIPS, organized a 2-day conference on breaking barriers and shaping positive attitude for inclusive politics in Nigeria from Wednesday 23rd to Thursday 24th April 2025 at Abuja Intercontinental Hotel and Ritz Continental Hotel respectively. Stakeholders were united in the demand for increasing women's involvement in politics, leadership, in governance. It's obvious as women achieve power, the barrier of discrimination and marginalization that militate against women maximizing their potentials and fulfilling their destinies will naturally fall as obtainable in advanced democracies. In other words, in the words of Hillary Clinton, 67 United States Secretary of State and the First Lady of 42nd President Bill Clinton, she said, there cannot be democracy unless women's voices are heard. There cannot be true democracy unless women opportunity to take responsibility for their own lives. There cannot be true democracy unless citizens are able to participate fully in the lives of their country. As Shirley Chisholm, former American politician, educator, and author, succinctly put, if they don't give you a seat at the table, bring a folding chair. In other words, women must be at the table where their destinies and destiny of the nation is decided. It is a call to action, not rhetoric. This conversation organized by the Stand to End Rape initiative is a giant step forward in actualizing inclusivity in politics. It is commendable and a welcome development in the quest for a strong, united, progressive, equitable, and just democracy. On the 25th of October 2024, IPAC held a roundtable in collaboration with the Westminster Foundation for Democracy, WFD, on inclusive democracy and the option of special seats for women at the Shehu Musair Adwa Center. It was broadcast live for maximum outreach and impact. This underscores the importance to IPAC attaches to increasing women's participation in politics and governance. When a section of the society is underrepresented in policy discussions, they feel marginalized. This is the case with women who constitute 50% of the nation's population. Certainly, we cannot consolidate and advance our democracy if half of the population is deliberately excluded from the political sphere. Currently, the House of Representatives is working on a bill seeking to create 74 seats for women in parliament in a bid to encourage more female participation in politics. The bill is anchored on fundamental principles of equitable representation and aims to empower women by ensuring their voices are not only heard, but they actively contribute to shaping the legislative landscape and overall development of the nation. It is obvious that the issue of gender equality and representation lies at the heart of the nation's democracy. The imbalance in this regard is glaring. In the 7th, 8th, and 9th assemblies, women are accounted for 6.4%, 6.1%, and 2.7% of the Senate respectively, and the 6.4%, 3.05%, and 4.7% of the House of Representatives respectively. It is hoped that this conversation will take cognizance of these diminishing returns and make appropriate recommendations that will foster inclusivity in politics. The first step is to join a political party and be willing to contest elections, as power is not given. It is taken in electoral contest. I have no doubt that we will leave here inspired and motivated to work assiduously for more women participation in politics, leadership, and governance. Be assured that IPAC will support the cooperation. Be assured of IPAC's support, our cooperation and collaboration. We are all in this together. To achieve this, IPAC did something recently IPAC never had a constitution. We have been operating with code of conduct. So sometimes last year, IPAC developed the first constitution. And in that constitution, it was mandated clearly the twinning approach, that where you have a man as the head, the woman will deputize. So for all the positions, and we want to cascade it into all the political parties. For instance, where you have a youth leader, the deputy should be a woman. Where you have the secretary, the deputy should be a woman. The same thing where you have a governor, the deputy governor should be a woman. So this is what we hope to achieve, and we challenge the women to work on this to see how we can. We believe that by the time we have more women in the system, just like our Lord said earlier, most of the societies that have women in leadership, we see more development, more harmony, and peaceful coexistence among the citizenry. So I thank you all for the audience.
More applause, more applause. If IPAC is taking that giant step, and we have no excuse but to take it further to our communities and also our wards and every area, New Kankarani, the 774 local governments, all the areas, the 36 states of the Federation, inclusive the Federal Capital Territory, indeed the nation, to the continent, and even across the globe. When talking earlier said something about their own representation, about 34%. Now, you could hear our own seriously low. She even said they are not perfect. And that's actually, there's no perfection, and everyone is trying to actually do better. There's always that room called improvement for everything that we do here on Earth. We'll move on. That was the keynote address. We'd like to appreciate Alhaji Yusuf Dantale once again. And we also encourage every one of us to take a look at how we can bring on the area of influence to bear on that, which is a special bill. Of course, amongst many things, is seeking to reserve seats for women in the National as well as State Assembly, and also aiming to dismantle some of those systemic barriers that we think have been giving us that choking feeling. We must rise above them. Okay, some quick recognitions. Senator Ireti Kingibe is being represented here by her special advisor, pharmacist Patricia Oyagba. Is she in the room? Also in the room, we'd like to welcome from the Kuka Center, Barrister Asabe Indahi. Okay, for my lineup, we ought to have had something about spoken words, but the person is not available right now. So before we break up for the technical session, this is how it's going to be for this first phase. I believe the organizers are ready for the group photographs as well as other tidbits for the photo ops to conclude this first phase while we get ready for the technical sessions. And for the technical sessions, I would like to make some quick recognition of those who are on ground. The moderators, we have about 3 sessions for moderation. First moderator, Professor Magdalene Dura, is Dean of Law, Bingham University, Cairo. Of course, the lead speaker will be Dr. Samo Guche, who's seemed very, very busy all over the hall. Okay, some other persons here, I will just be taking off as I get to know that they are around. Moderator 2, Dr. Mohammed Amali, Senior Research Fellow with the Nigerian Institute of Legislative, that's Niels now, yeah, okay. Dr. Amali, in the room? Okay. Also, the third, but second on the list, John Niyi Olanrewaju, Doctor, Industrial Arbitration Panel, Abuja. Okay. I'm told another person from the Kuka Center, Estrom Ajaya, is available. Somebody corrected me earlier that Bukola Idowu is not a female, so I hope he's back. Okay, so we'll take on the photo session now. Mr. Wura will guide the room on how to go about that. Then we get back quickly for us to commence the second session, which is the technical session. We've been all very wonderful. Let's keep the tempo up. We must give the support to every woman, every girl child. As they say, the hand that rocks the cradle rocks the world. So let's rock our world this morning.